Tonya Hofmann's fabulous, fabulous TV show.
Good morning, everybody. I'm so excited that you're here today. Oh my gosh, you are in for a treat. The Scott Schilling himself is in the house. Hey, Scott.
Hey, how you doing?
Great. So we're going to hear from Scott in just a minute. I am excited to have him on the show today. You know, there are certain people that you get connected to and you're like, oh my gosh, you know, you're just so thrilled, not just to be connected, but to build relationships with. And that's what I want to throw out to y'all today is who are you building relationships with? It can't just be about, hey, how are you doing? It's nice to meet you. Here's my business card and blah, 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 blah. You know, you have to get to know people and go beyond that. You have to get them to understand who you are in your full essence, right? Who are you inside? Not just what are you selling, what do you know, how do you know, who do you connect it to, but who are you? And then how can you help them? How can you be a real benefit to them from now on? And when you really start doing that, you're going to get connected to people like I am, that every day I'm like, yes, that I have pushed myself to the point where it's not about Tonya Hofmann all the time. It's about the other person and making a real value proposition to them. And that's why I love Scott, because he has that same kind of vision. So Scott, tell us a little bit about you and kind of your vision and what you've got going on out there.
Well, Tanya, it's really an honor to be here. It's so much fun to work with fun people. You know, I mean, that's the best part of it. My vision is pretty simple. I've been phenomenally blessed to be able to do what I do. I speak, I train, I coach, I write, I walk dogs, I'm married. You know, I got lots of jobs. But I'm just very blessed to have been able to do what I've done, and just really want to share with more people. I know that there have been times in my entrepreneurial path that I've been kicked, and that's what proves you're an entrepreneur, quite frankly. If you've never been kicked, you just haven't tried hard enough. But it's one of those where I want to do what I wish would have been done for me a couple times, is lift some people up, give them the tips, give them the techniques, give them the help, just the love sometimes, you know, just say, you know, I really believe in you and your message and what you're doing. I think we can all be so much better than we are. Not that we're not working at it, but it was funny. I was walking Willie this morning, our chocolate standard poodle, and I was just watching his childlike wonder, you know, when he runs on the golf course and he just sniffs everything that he sniffed the day before, you know. Why is it so new and fresh? And I just said, you know, gosh, wouldn't it be nice just to improve a little bit each day and just get a little bit better? And if we all did that, how much better the entire world would be.
I know when you start, I was just at my nephew's first birthday party. And so there was about 12 itty bitty kids around, and just to see in their eyes, everything is new. Some things are scary, but they go after it anyways, you know. And what do? They're grasping a hold of somebody to make sure it's okay. Why can't we be that thread, right? Why can't we be that hand that people hold to say, you can go out there and do that scary thing. You could be on a show like this. You could do whatever you want to do, but we're here to support you and say, you can do it.
Well, I think that's really true. You know, we all don't have those bad habits. You know, we have that childlike amazement. We're exploring things. We're looking at things. We reach out until we get our hand slapped and slapped and slapped and slapped and slapped. And then the world slaps us and then life slaps us. And all of a sudden we get numbed down into a point where you go, I just can't, whatever. It's not true. We all can whatever. And as you and I talked about when we got together the other day, for me, it's really one quote keeps on coming up from Gandhi. You know, be the change you want to see in the world. We're at a we're at a precipice. We're at a fulcrum right now. We can either make this thing better or fall into the abyss. The abyss is not attractive to me. So therefore, it's kind of like, what can we do to make it better? Well, be the change you want to see in the world. treat people better. And it's not that you're not treating them well now. It's that one little extra step, the one little extra thing, the little extra smile, the little extra help. Doing a show like this to give people some encouragement, to put things together in vehicles and mechanisms like PSA and what I'm doing with Talking with Giants, and that you create collaborative efforts. And when the good people come together and welcome more good people, it's going to be amazing what we accomplish together.
Exactly. And that's what it's so important to me to find those good people, because usually what happens, they're connected to other good people. And so you suddenly are growing your huge database of amazing people because you're just hanging around the right people in the first place.
Well, and we live in a world where we can do this. We can do an online TV show. We can pump stuff out social media. We can get things moving. We can get people thinking. And it's funny. My 26-year-old daughter says, "Daddy, you never have a bad day." I said, "Oh no, I got plenty of bad days. You're just never going to hear about those." The fact of the matter is, it doesn't make it. The internet is evergreen. You put the wrong stuff out there, it's going to stay out there. But also, if you put the right stuff out there, the right stuff is going to stay out there. And I think it's really interesting. Even just yesterday, somebody posted a picture from a year ago, and we both kind of joked about, gosh, we can't believe that was a year ago. But it brought up great memories. And with those great memories, you can start to relive. I think that's what you got to do. You just got to reinvigorate every day. So much information is coming at you on a daily basis that you have to stay positive, and you have to just go for it on a daily basis. The good news is you can also reset every day.
Exactly. And with the expansion, one of the things that I realized is that a lot of people think that because there's like this barrier for them, the internet, they aren't sitting right across the table from somebody where they can touch them. And so they think that you can't reach out and talk to somebody. And I'm like, you have to, if someone resonates with you, reach out and say hi. It's amazing what will happen just by the simple words, I want to know you. Can I talk to you?
Well, and the fact is, one of the concepts I teach, I learned from one of my mentors, Jack Canfield, but SWSWSWSWN. Some will, some won't. So what? Someone's waiting next.
Love it.
Go through and reach out. I'm phenomenally blessed to have quote unquote friends in high places, but it's not because of their high places. It's because of finding out who they are, supporting them where they are. And believe it or not, it's really interesting. Some of the quote unquote biggest people that you could go up to are also the loneliest, because
Exactly.
nobody does go up to them. Everybody thinks they're untouchable or unreachable. And in fact, sometimes they just want a friend and a hug too. It's really funny. I tell the story a fair amount. A friend of mine said, if you could meet anybody, who would it be? I said, well, that's easy, Richard Branson. He said, done, we'll handle it. 62 days later, I met Richard Branson. Now, that was really cool. But what was cooler is at that event, Eve Branson, Richard's mom, was sitting at a table all by herself. Nobody was talking to her because everybody wanted to talk to Richard. I went over and I had almost an hour of Eve Branson's time just because nobody else would talk to her. And she told me the little Richie stories. Now, that's pretty cool, right? So again, I think sometimes we don't understand. People are people. They just wanted to be treated with respect and love and talked to too.
Exactly. I've always kind of gravitated to those that are by themselves anyways, because there's something that's usually very unique about them. And for whatever reason, people are shying away. And it's usually not because of who they are. It's usually what's in the person's mind of who they are, that they don't have permission to come and talk to them. I find that even when I'm on stage, I'm like, Kevin, come and talk to me, love to connect. How many people actually do that? It's just shocking sometimes.
Yeah, it's funny. When you said that, it just brought me back. I just did an event in Chicago a couple weeks ago, and I said, okay, I stopped down everything, and I said, I just want everybody to know I'm a hugger. You have my permission to give me a hug. And everybody looked and went, "What?" And I said, "Yep, no, I'm a hugger. I can't help." And it's so funny because people go, "Really? Are you serious?" And you go, "Yeah, I really am." Why? I learned that in my time teaching in the chiropractic industry, just how great their hearts are and how great their souls are, and it felt so good. Again, be the change you want to see in the world. We need more of that. We need more of people really respecting each other and wanting to share true friendship and emotion with each other as opposed to closing it all down. That's, I think, part of our problem is we shut it down. We've got this world where we can communicate so freely, and yes, we do such a poor job of it most of the time.
I know, there's so many people that I meet that when you hear their story, I'm just blown away by what they've done, what they've been able to accomplish, what they've been able to overcome, and they don't see it themselves. We are so much our worst critics in our own world, right? And a lot of times it takes somebody else to show us who we are. But most people won't ever gift that to somebody. For whatever reason, they feel like they can't let other people know how amazing they are. And I think that's a real shame in today's society.
It is really a shame because again, our communication is so um, free today. But the point is, if we would get on that rampage of appreciation, the attitude of gratitude, and just go through and share that. One of the things that I do, and I don't do it enough. I teach it, but I still don't do it enough myself. And that is, I purposefully call people and hope to get their voicemail, and I'll call and I'll just say something like, "Hey, Tonya, it's Scott. I'm your number one fan, the president of your fan club. Just wanted you to know you've made a difference in my life. God bless you. Have a great day, and let me know how I can serve you." And hang up. And you make 5 calls like that in a row, it changes your whole day. And quite frankly, you should hear some of the calls you get, from those people. They go, "Were you drinking or what's going on there?" So it's a lot of fun.
I do, when you answer the phone, you see somebody calling, right? Why can't you make their day by answering the phone in a way just like that? Usually I'm like, "Hey, gorgeous, what are you doing?" They're like, "I love calling you."
Well, that's what I do too. And I'll say, in fact, when you called me the other day, Tanya's fan club. It's the way I answer a lot, and people sit there and they go, it's just fun. They're, no matter what mood they're in that they're calling you with, it automatically brightens their mood. And I got one friend in particular and I won't say his name here. He'll go, "You have got to be my only fan." I said, "Well, at least you got one," and that's the way we start almost every call because of that. And he's been going through some tough stuff and life stuff, but we do business together, and so he knows if he calls me in a business setting, that interaction is going to make a positive impact on his day. What a great opportunity we each have.
Oh, it's so exciting to bring myself into this level because, I've had challenges. Personal development has been a huge issue, getting out of my own way, believing in myself, the whole, why would anyone want to hear what I have to say? Why would anyone care to have me, in front of their group or on stage? It was a big mind shift for me. And I'm so glad that I pushed past that and got used to the idea that I am somebody of worth, and now I can gift that to others. And that's why I created the Public Speakers Association in the first place, is to allow people a stage to say, "I am amazing. You should listen to me because I do have great information that will change your life."
Well, again, one of the things that I share when I'm teaching is that a 9-year-old can mentor a 10-year-old, and a 10-year-old can mentor a 9-year-old. They both know something the other one doesn't know. It doesn't, "Oh, wait a second, so then when we get older, we can do it too." If you haven't recognized that life shoves lessons at you, I mean, some of them aren't fun. Quite frankly, most lessons aren't fun. But the fact is, if you use those as lessons, you can serve other people. And there's somebody who needs to hear that you had a challenge as well, and you've made it through the challenge and how you did it. And it can give them that encouragement. There's story after story of people who have shared something that they thought was kind of meaningless that has turned out to be absolutely meaningful to somebody. And so, why not take that opportunity? Again, do it from the right place. Do it from a place of service. That you're not a know-it-all. It's just, hey, I've had my butt kicked too, and so let me share how I made it through that.
Absolutely. And I've met, incredibly wealthy people, billionaires, all the way down to people that are on the street. But I learned something from every single one of them, and it's in a different learning opportunity. But when you gift that person that ability to say, I have value to you, no matter who you are, you're really giving them a boost, because most people I have found has never been asked their opinion, that they, even billionaires, right? I mean, I'm shocked how very little people feel like they've been honored, that they've been included into a conversation, that someone would even care to ask them what they think. It's shocking to me.
Yeah, absolutely, it's actually one of the conversation starters I use, and it's so simple. Anytime you walk up to somebody, all you got to do is say, "Hey, what's new and exciting?" And it's like, "What's new and exciting?" Well, there's nothing exciting. There's got to be something exciting in your life, and all of a sudden, you give them permission to be excited. And the reality is, everybody has something, and it's typically not what you would think it would be. And so it allows them to go on that path. Again, I think if we all, this is so simple. It costs nothing. It's simply being nice to people. It's simply including people. It's giving them a hug when they don't expect it. It's all sorts of different things. I've got a friend, and she is not a hugger. It is so funny. And she will state, I am not a hugger. And I said, but you're married. You have two kids. She goes, I'm not a hugger. You don't seem to understand. Well, it was so funny. We were in a business setting, and she was introducing me to another friend of hers. But before she did, she came up and gave me a hug. And the friend said, you have to be something. If she hugged you, she doesn't hug anybody. And it's not that I was something, it's just that I reciprocate. In other words, I respect that she doesn't want to, but the fact that she did was so cool. Again, it's so easy to help people see that they can make a difference in somebody else's life. Why don't we just
Yes.
all work at it a little bit more?
And really, looking at marketing and, exposure to different mindsets. I was listening to my 11-year-old, and he loves YouTube. So I'm trying to learn, this world of YouTube and videos. And, this is something I'm learning. So I stopped and I asked him, what do you love? Because he was super excited to go watch his YouTube yesterday after school, or Friday or whatever. I'm like, what? Why are you so excited? He goes, oh, Jess has a new video series out, and she's launching it today. And I mean, he was excited about this adult woman who was putting out these silly videos for kids. And I'm like, wow, that impact that she had on his life, that he couldn't wait to get home from school to watch it. That is massive. You could learn just by hearing, even from an 11-year-old, what makes them excited, because we all have that value proposition within us.
Well, and I think you did a very valuable thing there, is you ask. The key is, I'm about to fly off and do a couple day consulting gig. In the vast majority of time when I'm in those consulting, I'm going to ask, why would you take this action? Why would somebody not take this action? The answers are all there. We tend to want to prove our authority so often, as opposed to just bringing people into the conversation. And when we allow people to co-create, they will go much further, and they'll be much more excited over an extended period of time because they had a portion in that co-creation. And again, that's where the collaborative model and the co-creation model comes in. You know, you speak, I speak. Theoretically, we're competitors. No, we're not. We're not. I mean, we do similar things, but why would we compete? Why wouldn't we try to lift each other up and help each other in this whole thing? And what you find is when you find the right group of people, that's the way they're going to be. Those are the ones that you really want to spend the time with, are the ones who are willing to lift you up when you need it. You'll lift them up when they need it, and you'll lift each other up when you don't need it. And I think that's what really becomes fun.
Exactly. And I know you've got a great magazine coming out. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, it's really, it's been put on my heart a long time I love promoting my friends. There's so many, I love what I do, but I hate the sound of me promoting me, right? And so I would love to have friends promote me. Well, if I would love to have friends promote me, I bet you my friends would love if I promote them. And so that's really what we're about to launch, is in conjunction with my book, Talking with Giants. It's now going to be Talking with Giants magazine. Talking with Giants magazine, the tagline is illuminating the path to self-discovery. Again, we want to give people good, solid information that can help them live a more fulfilled and purposeful life. I believe that to be a spirit-driven life. I think that you have to have belief in the higher source. It's not for me to tell you what that source should be. It's for me to live my belief and make it so attractive that you want to do what I do, and for the reasons I do them. But again, we're going to do that with spiritual foundation and personal fulfillment, professional enhancement. We're going to help people professionally, and then financially, because quite frankly, if you don't have yourself financially free, life's harder than it needs to be. I've had a lot of money and I've had no money. I'm just going to tell you, more money is more fun. Now, it just makes it easier. Now, it's not all about the money. In fact, Jack Canfield and Mark Victor Hansen took me aside a number of years ago, and they said, it's about the two things that happen with money. It's about the influence you have and the good you can do. And that's really what we want to do with Talking with Giants. It's the influence that we can have and the good that we can do by exposing great people to more people, so that, we create some followership of some of these great, quote unquote, unknowns. Obviously the known people as well. But the point is that we want to share good, solid messages that help people find out about things they may or may not know about.
Love that. So how do people get a hold of this magazine?
Well, talkingwithgiants.com is up, but that relates to my book right now. We're transitioning that website into the magazine. But of course, you can go to scottschilling.com, my name, and you can actually subscribe and start to get on that list. It will be out, the first issue will be out before November 1st at the latest. In fact, I was just working on it before we recorded this. So I'm just so excited about, because I'm reading the information, from a fabulous coach and actually one of my clients, Victoria Trabash, just with some great wisdom. Now, she had a cancer battle that she's beaten, and it sends chills through me, because she's just talking about the wisdom that comes from such an attack. And oh gosh, there's just so many great things in there that we're going to help with health and wellness and finances and you name it. PSA, we're going to talk about the Professional Speakers Association, just all the different vehicles that we can help people understand better so they can do better.
Love that. All right, everybody. So go to Scott Schilling. Make sure you spell it right. SCHILLING. and get hooked up to this magazine, because it'll be something that will be very transformative, especially if you love reading, and most people do. To get some insight from these amazing people, why wouldn't you? And it's free, so I mean, it's a bus both ways. So
Well, the other thing that's exciting is it's going to be a digital magazine online, so we're going to be able to actually tie in some video presentation and a variety of different things. So it's just exciting. It's exciting to share some good work with a lot of good people.
love it. And please, everybody, go to his website anyways, get connected to Scott, because he's just someone you've got to know. These are the people that have come on this show, are those that have incredible hearts and wisdom. And that's what I wanted to give to you, is those connections, and not just to listen to them, but actually get connected. Follow them on social media, get involved. And remember that you can always find any of these incredible presenters on my website, on publicspeakersassociation.com. Under the speaker search tab, you just punch in Scott and his little ad will come up, and you'll see his pretty face and all his contact information. So his website is there, makes it easy to link over to it, all his social media tabs, and then everybody else that you've seen on this show. So it makes it super easy to book Scott for your next event, your radio show, television show, whatever it is you want to
Close
have.
enough.
Exactly. And he's going to be speaking. We're hoping that it all works out in June at the Public Speakers Conference. And so we should have that website up and going shortly with all the goodies. It's June 26th through the 29th in Palm Springs, California at the Hard Rock Hotel. So make sure you've got that on your calendar, and we'll have info coming shortly. So thank you, Scott, for being on today. I love it, and you have got to come back soon.
Absolutely. Anytime you invite me, I will show up.
Awesome. All right, everybody. You have a fantastic day. Remember, go to the website, Public Speakers Association. Go to Scott's website, scottschilling.com, and we will see you next time. Bye, everybody. Bye, Scott.
Bye-bye.
Bye.